Hey guys, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel. So today we have a very chill little sit down video. I'm going to do my July reading wrap up and then not exactly my August TBR, but my current TBR, kind of the things at the top of my list. I can't promise they're gonna get read in August, but I want to try and read them before I get into my fall reads, cozy fantasy, cute small town romance, you know, that kind of vibe. Also, if you hear a slight humming noise, my family is sweeping and cleaning upstairs, and so you can kind of hear the sweeper humming a little bit, but I wanted to sit down and get this filmed. So without further ado, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face. Check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon wishlist, and let's get into my July wrap up and my current TBR. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Alani drinker, specifically the cherry slush, and I went to restock on them last night and they had the Kimades. I don't know if this was something I would buy on a regular basis, but I bought a couple of them and they're not too bad. They're okay. So if you can find them, I would say try it. My brother thinks it tastes like perfume, but I completely disagree. Okay, let's get into my July wrap up. So I read 5 books in July, which is actually really good for me because I have been in a reading slump for so long. If you guys have watched the past 2 or 3 months of my channel, you know that I've been in a really bad reading slump. I've talked about it a couple of times in my recent videos, but I finally got back into reading, and I would specifically probably say it's from this first book that I read, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry. This was literally so good. I started it the second week of July and finished it within a couple of days. I was literally obsessed with it. It was so good. So I gave it 5 stars. This was a 5-star read for me. Everyone had been talking about it. This is Emily Henry's newest release. I love the cover. I think it's beautiful. But I'm gonna read you guys my Goodreads review because I did write a little quick one. So it says, 5 stars. This book made me cry more times than I can count. The writing is absolutely beautiful. I related to Harriet so much that it physically blew my mind. This book will be one to remember, and I'm absolutely thrilled I finally read it. So basically the synopsis is that Harriet and her fiance break up and they're forced to go on this little trip together to this house that they have vacationed at with their college best friends for the past 10 years or something like that. And none of their friends know that they separated. And so this book is kind of showing now Harriet, and I cannot remember the guy's name. I'm really bad at names. But it's showing the 2 main characters now trying to fake date around their friends so that nobody knows they broke up. And then it also flashes back in time to when they were together and everything like that. And then finally towards the end of the book you find out why they separated and what the reasoning was, and it's beautiful. Harriet just seriously reminds me of myself so much. I loved so many quotes. Let me find a couple for you to read to you guys. I didn't tab this, but I did highlight any quotes that I really liked. So the first one is, his jaw muscles leap as his pale fog eyes retain on me. What should I have done, Harriet? Found an excuse, simply told her no, not have broken my heart like his a last minute dinner plan, not have made me love you in the first place. Girl, I can relate, sweetie. Next one. He's a golden boy. I'm a girl whose life has been drawn in shades of gray. I try not to love him. I really try. And then the last one. Loving him is the only essential and everything else is a garnish. Be so freaking for real. Girl, the quotes in here, literally so good. Just so good. Highly recommend. Please read this if you have not. Read it before summer is over. Next, I read all 3 of the Summer I Turned Pretty books. As you guys know, season 2 came out in July, and of course, Team Conrad, 1000 freaking %. How could you be Team Jeremiah? Please let me know. And if you are, don't speak to me. I don't want to have this debate with you. Team Conrad, all the freaking way. Anyways, I gave each of the books 4 stars. The books are literally completely different than the TV show. Like so different. Like I was actually mind blown. There's a few scenes in the books that they portray really well on camera when they like do it straight from the book version. Specifically in season 2, there's been a few moments that I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what's about to happen, and I'm not prepared to see it on screen. Because like obviously when you read a book you can kind of imagine what it looks like, but seeing the like bad and cringy moments literally like live, you're like, holy fuck, like I was not expecting that. But it was so good. They were good. I would recommend reading them. They're super quick reads. Each book only took me like 2 days to read. The third one I read in one sitting, so they're about like 3 to 4 hours of reading per book. So those were super quick and easy for me to get through. And then the last book I read in July was The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walker. I really actually enjoyed this. I didn't think I would dislike it, but I didn't think I would love it as much. There's a lot of Taylor Swift references in here. You guys know how I feel about Miss Tay Tay, so that was like an amazing little surprise. But this book is basically about Meredith, and her sister passes away, and 18 months later her family goes back to their like families or grandparents, like I don't really know what you want to call it, like campsite, big property type of thing. And they go because her cousin Sarah is getting married. Well, one of the groomsmen is like the same age as Meredith, and the family plays a game of assassin. It's like a tradition they do. And so Meredith and, once again, I cannot remember his name, I'm really bad at names, but Meredith and the guy end up like teaming up and kind of forming an alliance, and then throughout the alliance they basically fall for each other, and it's amazing. And there's a little bit of a plot twist that like I saw coming before it actually happened, but at the beginning of the book I wasn't expecting it. But then like I just started getting a little more context clues. I was like, no freaking way, there's no way. And I was right, and it was crazy. But I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. I actually ended up buying this author's newest release, which is What Happens After Midnight. It's supposed to be kind of like a similar thing. This is YA. It's just super good. Like I really liked the writing. It was fun. It was easy to get through. I flew through it. It's about 350 pages, and it took me like 2.5, 3 days to finish this. So I really liked it. It was one of those books where I was like, I cannot wait to go home and read. Like I was so excited to get through that book. So those are all of my July reads. 5 books, 3 in a series, 2 standalones. Now we're going to get into my current TBR. Okay, so I have 6 books on my current TBR. I'm going to start with the one I'm actually currently reading, which I don't want to give too much away, but I'm actually kind of struggling to get through it a little bit, and I'm just like ready to move on. But that's Beach Read by Emily Henry. After reading Happy Place, I wanted to dip into her, what do they call that, backlog or something like that? Like I wanted to read her other books. So I'm currently on page 214, so I think I'm like 60% through, and I'm just ready for it to be over. Like I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely not gonna be 5 stars. It's like a 3.5 for me so far. Something might change because it's finally getting into the romance more, but basically this is about 2 authors, Gus and January, and they strike up this deal where they're gonna switch like writing styles and genres. So usually January writes romance and Gus writes like literary fiction or something like that. And so they're gonna swap. So he has to write a romance and she has to write the literary fiction, and whoever can like sell the book first or something gets like bragging rights, and the other one has to like promote their book and stuff like that. But it's okay so far. I'm not obsessed with it. I know Sarah loves this book, but I'm just not feeling it so far. I don't know if it's because I can't connect to the characters or what it is, but that is my current read. And then I actually have one more Emily Henry book on my TBR that I would like to get through while it's still summertime, and that's Book Lovers. I feel like both Beach Read and Book Lovers are just like ones that if you're a reader you have to read. Like everybody raves and raves about these books, so I want to finally get to it. I honestly know nothing about this, but I want to read it so that I can say I've read it and know what the hype's about. So that's the next one on my TBR. Next we have an Ellen Hilderbrand book. I only know who this is because of Sarah Crowley. Sarah literally loves Ellen Hilderbrand, so I picked up one of her novels. Unfortunately, this is the mass market paperback, which means it's like smaller. It's like little, you know, like compare the size here. It's smaller but thicker. But this is 28 Summers. I know literally nothing about this, but it's on my TBR. You know, there's a common theme here apparently that I know nothing about what's on my TBR, other than you are supposed to read Ellen Hilderbrand in the summers. Like, it's literally like a code of conduct, you know? I don't know. I'm excited to see what the hype about Ellen is. So this is on my TBR. Hopefully I can get to it before summer's over. It is currently the 6th of August, so we're running out of time. Next is Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is a cowboy romance. This series is so highly talked about. It's kind of on my immediate TBR right now because one, these like mirror covers are being discontinued, so I just bought the second one before it was discontinued, and then I need to buy the last two before they're discontinued as well. But it's a cowboy romance and it's supposed to be summer vibes, and everyone's like, I want to wear a cowgirl hat and cowgirl boots and listen to country music after they read this. And I mean, I love a good cowboy. If you've ever watched The Longest Ride, cowboy, like 1000%. So this is on there. I think it'll be a fun little summer read. I've heard the first one isn't anyone's favorite. A lot of people like the second one the best, I think, but obviously you have to read the first one to get to the second one. So Flawless by Elsie Silver. Next is one that I've been saying I'm going to read for like months now, and I really just need to get to it. Like, I'm excited to get to it. I just keep on prioritizing other things first. But also, since I was in a reading slump for all of May and June, I didn't read like any of my summer reads, which is why I'm kind of trying to prioritize those before I get into like not really season appropriate books, like ones that aren't specifically better for summertime or whatever. But that's Addicted for Now by Kristen Becker-Ritchie. This is the third book in the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. I have most of the series now because I've been just pre-ordering them as they're being re-released with the new covers. But this one I think is just going to leave right off where the second one ended. I can't really say anything because obviously this is the middle of a series and I don't want to ruin anything. But I'm excited to get more of Lily and Lo and Reich and Daisy and just Rose and Connor. Like, I'm ready to just get back into the world. I just haven't prioritized it. This one is also quite thick. It's like 500 pages long, which is like really long for a romance book. So I'm excited to get back into the series. I just am waiting for the perfect time to. The last book on my TBR right now is the next book I'm going to read. I am literally so excited about this book. It actually isn't even technically released yet. It's not supposed to be released until the 10th of August, but she allowed people to order the paperback a few days early, so instantly I went add to cart right now. Push that buy now button. And that's Playing to Win by Monica Murphy. I literally cannot believe that this is in my hands. If you don't know, the Player series is one of my all-time favorite series ever, so I'm beyond excited about this book. This is the third and final book in the series. This one is about Ace. I think he's going to get with one of his teammates' little sister, if I remember correctly. I can't exactly remember where the second one left off with like trying to tease this book, but I'm so excited. These are steamy college football romances. They're super quick and easy to get through. It's just over 350 pages. Lots of Taylor references in all of these. Very, 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 very excited to get into this. I'm like dying to read it. So that's one of the reasons I'm trying so hard to get through Beach Read, so that I can finally start this book. It wasn't even supposed to be released for like a few more months, and then it got released like extra early. So excited about this. You literally have no idea. I want to talk about something really, really quick, because those are all of the books on my TBR and all the books I read in July. But a few days ago, Miss Chloe Walsh made an Instagram post, and I'm gonna find it for you really fast because it kind of like broke the internet. 7 days, and then it's playing Paper Rings, and the hashtag is Boys of Tommen. If you are telling me we're finally gonna get Claire and Gibbsy's books, I will shit my pants. That announcement should be made on Friday, and if it's like 2 new books in the series, which it probably will be, pre-order now. I have to still read Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, but if she's like announcing 2 new books, I will hop right into those. Don't even worry, because I want to be on the same page as everybody else. So I had to talk about that really fast. Also, one more little thing. If you don't know, I live in the state of good old Ohio. Yes, I'm a little Ohioan girl, but Miss Taylor Allison Swift announced a few extended tour dates for the US tour for 2024. And 3 of those dates are for Indianapolis, Indiana, which is like 2 hours from me. So me, Bria, and 2 of the people I went to the Eras tour with back in June all signed up for pre-sale registration, and fingers, toes, legs, everything crossed that on Tuesday night we get a pre-sale code, so that on Wednesday when I take off work I can get tickets. Pray for me. I don't know if this video will probably be up afterwards, so we will see. I will keep you updated, but please, Taylor gods. Because what's really crazy is that the dates for Indy are exactly 3 weeks before my 21st birthday. How amazing would that be? That would literally be amazing. So that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my TBR, my current reads, what I thought about all the books I read in July. And yeah, I hope you all have an amazing day. Make sure you check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon wish list. And I will see you lovely, amazing people in my next video. Bye, guys.